My book recommendations for the third quarter of 2022. Hi, this is Coach Jim Johnson. As you know, I'm a very avid reader. My question to you is, have you read any good books lately? Reading is a great way to consistently grow your knowledge and improve your skills. How often you take some time to sit down and to dive into a book? For me, I make it a point to start my day by reading. In this weekly video, I want to give you the last 12 books that I have read and I highly recommend to you. Make sure to check out my weekly book recommendation on my social media pages. Let's go through the books. Number 1, The Storm by Dan Blanchard. Had the pleasure to talk to Dan a few weeks ago. He is a teacher and a coach in Connecticut. In this book, he shares a fictional story of a grandfather sharing life lessons with his grandson during a rainstorm. Excellent story with great life lessons you can add to your life. The second book is A Time to Lead by Dr. Craig Dowden. We had the honor to have Craig on our podcast recently, The Limitless Leadership Lounge. Check it out. His book shares a great leadership wisdom, and he has part of each chapter where former Ford CEO Alan Mulally contributes his ideas on each topic. Wonderful read. Highly recommend it. Third one is Master Mentors by Scott Jeffrey Miller. We also had the honor to have Scott as a guest on our podcast. Scott hosts a wonderful leadership podcast through Franklin Covey, where Scott has worked in various roles for. In his book, he synthesizes 30 podcast guest interviews and shares some wonderful ideas from these great interviews. Check out his podcast and certainly this book. They're both excellent. The fourth book is How Do You Grow Your Business Like a Weed by Stu Heinecke. I had a chance to meet Stu at a virtual program. This is the second book I have read by Stu. He uses weeds as a metaphor and shares great ideas on how to start and also grow your business. The fifth one is an old one that I had never read called The Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. This classic shares the trials of the author living in a Nazi concentration camp and how he used the power of his mind to learn how to live in dire conditions while finding his true meaning in life. The sixth book is a financial book called The Power of Zero by David McKnight. He has wonderful ideas on how you can reduce your taxes with different strategies within your various retirement accounts. If you're getting close to retirement, even before, check that out. Next one is Bowling and Sports by Randy Nathan. I had the pleasure to meet Randy at a conference where we both spoke at. He shares great insight on how bowling can be so detrimental to your team and great strategies to overcome bullying. Next book is called Principles by Ray Dalio. Wonderful ideas that Ray shares to live a better life. Ray started one of the biggest hedge funds and is also a billionaire. He shows both strength and empathy in his principles. Check it out, it's really good. Next one is called The Big Game by Sid Fay and his wife Kathy Vitello. I had the pleasure to speak to Sid. This book shares wonderful ideas on how to improve giving and receiving. I actually bought a gift for my wife from Sid. It was really nice. Next book is called Published by Chandler Bolt. If you are thinking about writing a book, I highly recommend you read this one. It's the complete A to Z on how to write, publish, market, and sell your book. Excellent read. Next is How Do You Get a Meeting with Anyone by Stu Heinecke, which I mentioned in one of his other books earlier. This book has outstanding ideas and to be able to connect with the right people to improve your business sales. And the last one is by my friend Alan Stein Jr. called Sustain Your Game. We also had the honor to have Alan on our podcast. Check that interview out, it's really good. In his book, he shares the keys to manage stress, avoid stagnation, and overcome burnout. Great stories and example. Check it out. So I always got to challenge you. What are you reading? And please reach out to me and share your recommendations, because I'm always looking to grow. And I will continue to recommend a book each week. And then every 3 months, I'll give you my overview on 12 of them. Thank you.